Alright, so let me see. If we're good there, we should be live. And let's see how the thumbnail looks. Okay, that looks nice. Alright, cool. We're all good to go. Doubt anybody's gonna watch this. Doubt anybody's gonna be here. Wait a minute. It doesn't even show viewers anymore. That's weird. That's interesting. Oh. Well, it shows one watching. Oh, that's odd. Interesting. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at CSGO for a bit tomorrow. And let's see. If anybody's watching right now, I'm not really looking at the stream or anything, just kind of pretty much do this research kind of live, and I kind of already know where I want to go. I've been watching these guys last few days. Usually I play Counter-Strike during the week, at least 3 times a week. Worry about NBA or MLB most nights, but typically I keep up with the Tier 1 teams, and certainly, the Tier 2 teams that are offered on DraftKings. Anyway, the last 3 days we've done pretty well in the main GPP. So on, let's see, when was this? On the 1st, so that was Wednesday. No, Thursday. So on Thursday, we did Simple, Alon, Lollipop, Mao, Shiro. Winner finished 128. In the 10 today, I played 2 lineups. One with Shiro as the captain, another one with Simple. Played Shiro and Axel in each one. Played Bit and Simple in each lineup. I just switched out Simple and Shiro for the captain, and then played Chomper and Alon in one lineup, and then Adren and Magix in another lineup. One of them finished 55, other 102. So anyway, these are the weeks that I usually try and maybe not put in, I don't want to say put in more research, but these are the weeks that I like to play, especially when we have 2 teams that are going to be playing in pretty much a 3-game series with Gambit and Navi. And they basically they played each other the other day. They did on Thursday, and it went exactly how. And this could be a coin flip. It was either or. Both these teams are incredibly close. This is 1 and 2, and so this is basically like your perfect grand final. I love watching Counter-Strike when it's the 2 best teams that are going head to head with each other, especially in this tournament, because they've already seen each other. We already know who's playing well from each of these teams, and so I'm going to assume that I'm going to have 4 players from them. I'm only going to probably make 1 line tomorrow, unless I like the builds. Haven't even really looked at the pricing for tomorrow. I probably need to do that on my other monitor. But right now it seems like I'm probably going to play 4 guys from this game. So I'm probably going to play Shiro and Axel, and I'm probably going to play Simple and Bit from Navi. Let's just go ahead and take a gander at the price in the second, or in the pricing in this in the contest right here. So let's go ahead and look. Let's see where the build is. Bit has been extremely interesting for Navi. He has been consistently a second half player the last really the last almost 2 weeks now. He's almost complete dog shit in the first on the first half, no matter if it's T side, no matter if it's CT side. He is pretty much a second half player. Like today, +6. Basically had 2 kills or whatever in the first half here, caught up to 20. But same story here on Mirage. Not over. Mirage over Passion Nuke. I mean, second half player. Same thing here. Just could never get back from the first half slumps, really. Outside of that, Bit's been playing extremely well. Let me go look at the pricing, because I assume electronic is going to be too expensive. So let's just go ahead and look. Small contest, 2K to first, yikes. So let's see, Shiro's still high. Shiro at 96. Mir is stupid. I don't know why you're paying 9.4 for him. Axel's fine. Simple is still underpriced. I don't understand this pricing at all. Especially in a game where you're, like I just said, you're gonna have these two teams going back and forth. Simple is absolutely too cheap. So I can tell you right now, I'm throwing in Simple for the MVP just to try and fit all the guys in. Like 82 is too cheap. I don't understand why Shiro is way more expensive. Same thing with Axel. Like, these guys should be in very similar, and simple factor should be that he should be like 9,400. Tomorrow, I don't understand that at all. Oh, thank you guys. You guys giving me 4 likes. Anybody playing Counter-Strike? Am I kind of just talking to myself here? I probably am. Nobody's commented anything. Alright, but man, it's seeming like Simple. So let's just assume we go Simple. I just want to see. I'm more interested in doing research for this game, because I already know how Gambit and Navi's going to go out. Let's say we want to do Simple, Shiro, Axel for sure. Leaves me 63, 66. This is where we got to start looking at the first game here. So we'll come back to looking at Navi and them in a bit. Oops. There we go. Yeah, we'll go back to look at the second game in a bit. I mainly just want to look at the match history for these teams. K23 came really close today of upsetting Gambit. I know they lost in no, it wasn't. It was against Navi. It was not. It was Spirit. They're playing against Navi today. This was really close to being a 2-1, even a 2-0 for Spirit. I misspoke there. So Spirit right now seems like the team that I want to focus on, because look at how they're performing against Navi, Virtus Pro, Entropic, even going back. I mean, they've been performing extremely well. Lost to Evil Geniuses in a single match. That's just how that happened. One against Navi back in May. I know we're kind of back a bit, but Spirit is right up there. And so I'm probably going to lean more Spirit, which is kind of justified by their pricing here. SDY at 7,600. That's a bit high. Who are we looking at here? Magix. Okay, Magix is 66. They're expensive, though. We might have to take a... Oh, interesting. What is Bit at? Bit is at 64 again. Oh my god, dude. Perfecto had a really good game today. Out and an outlier performance. Even Bit too. If I think we do need to talk about Navi first. So let's go back. No, I'm kind of all over the place. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with Bit. But let's just confirm or deny that. And I want to see if... Let's really just compare. And I kind of already know this. I'm just doing this because I'm already here. Bloomy is completely up and down. Like, he'll either fucking win you a shitload or just crash you. And we'll go back. I'll go and look at matches here, but I just want to compare these guys side by side really quick here. I mean, I got a load bit. Let's go. Just want to see. Let's do the eyeball test. He's playing, yeah. So Bit is obviously doing better. I already kind of knew that. Perfecto can be up and down. Bloomy or Boom Blee. It's already said Bit had a bad game on the just a bad day on the first. Basically did absolutely jack shit first half on all three of these days, really. Compare that with Perfecto. Obviously had a fantastic day today. Really shit the bed against Gambit, but that's just how it is. Navi is simple and electronic, and then it's usually Bit for third. I mean, it's between these last three guys for the third man on Navi. But right now, Bit is playing better than I think most of us can imagine. Um, and I don't think he's getting recognized for that, not just in the DFS industry, but just in Counter-Strike in general. Seeing how Bit's grown and performed, I mean, he's a much better player than what we're giving him credit for. Especially with, Simple. Obviously, Simple isn't the guy who used to yell at his teammates. He's not that big of an angry guy anymore. Let's see. Oh, what's up, Thomas? I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I mean, I it was an awesome match the first day. On Thursday. I mean, I love that. Like, this is fun Counter Strike for me. Like, to watch, it's awesome. To play here, I know DFS is, depending on how many games there is, you gotta do three from the first team because you gotta get the match sweep, and then you gotta do two from this team, or do you do a 3-2-1 or a 2-2-1-1 or 3-3? Flat out for me, I tend to do the best DFS wise on single game and two game slates, just because I don't got to worry about match sweeps, and typically even like the match sweep is almost a detriment. Like, am I wrong with that, Thomas? I don't know if you play much CS:GO stuff, um, but when CS:GO first came out, they didn't do the match sweep or anything like that. It was just based on if they played the first two games, they would just do the multiplier. And so if some dude, miraculously had four aces and then the first two maps, it would, the algorithm would project them to do that. Yeah, okay, yeah, cool. Uh, I personally, I like that. I I kind of like that because I know Stevie and some of the other CS:GO guys didn't like that at all. But it's the same thing of targeting like an NFL game that has a high total. And I think this example is better with NFL than NBA. Like, targeting an NFL game with a total of like 62 or whatever is obviously going to give you a much higher scoring players than one projected for 30, because that's 15 for both teams. Whereas if you project one that has a total of 60, that's 30 for each team. And so when they changed it to do the map sweep of only 5 points and then the rounds not played bonus, I tend to target captains that I expect to play a third map, because if I have, and Simple's a great example of this, which is why I like him and Shiro and even Axel to an extent. But typically I just want the guy who has the most amount of kills, or the most amount of kills, most amount of assists, and less amount of deaths. I mean, you already know this, but uh, typically if I get a guy who is my captain in a match sweep, they're typically outscored by captains who play 3 games, because the guys in a 3 game series, especially if it's close, they're going to outscore them in kills. Like Simple is a great example. Like, Simple has the possibility to drop 30 kills in every game, and like in every match. So if he does that in 3 matches, he's going to outscore a captain who, theoretically, deserved more points because he only played 2 matches. His team won both games. Um, so that's kind of how I go. So going back to a 2 game slate, and why I like 2 games, why I like single games. I just went blank of what I was saying. Oh, going back, like, let's see, was it 2 weeks ago? It was last month, 3 weeks ago, I think. I finally won one of the single game CS:GO stuff, and just using that mentality. Like, I tend to just do better doing that, and so. Long story short, I like Simple. He's underpriced. He should play 3 games, and this is going to be just both maps should probably go 16-14 tomorrow for Navi and Gambit. And so just targeting that match. I don't care if I'm taking 4 guys from that, 3 from one team, 1 from another. Like, it doesn't matter. Let's see. That's been my strategy. Like captain the guys to go the distance first to get. Okay, cool. Yeah, and like that's interesting because I never. I mean, if people listen to me, you know that I love playing CS:GO, and I didn't make videos and stuff for it because mainly it's usually going to be made at 10:30 at night. Um, but like I'm happy to say that I cashed in the first ever CS thing when it started. The first tournament that DraftKings had, I finally cashed in there, and I've watched this grow, and so I look at like those videos of like how to play CS:GO because I like to see how other people do or how they approach it, and none of them none of them talk about that. None of them talk about like the odds and ends of like today. I played in both my lineups. I punted, and I need to make a deposit because I just let's see, because I just have the 55 that I won today. But like, let me bring these up because this is an example of how I approach. Yeah, sure. Oh, laugh at me. I only got 55 in my account. I know. I get a deposit from my Patreon and stuff. How to withdraw. Anyway, so looking at my two lineups like today. Driver, what are we doing here? Oh, here we go. So like looking at the two lineups today, like obviously I played simple, and I'm kind of showing this to you, Thomas, because you're in here. You play every day, and so like with me, like $4,000 for these guys, like that's underpriced. Like my strat is to make sure every single one of my flex guys gets over 30 bare minimum. Usually the optimal lineup doesn't have a guy under like 32 points, and like $4,000, like this is a misprice. This is absolute misprice. Same thing on my second lineup, and this is why I targeted these guys. They make like that, but like this is mispriced. This is absolutely mispriced. Like somebody who has the possibility to actually play good to get these many points like that, that's mispriced. And I don't understand why these guys aren't being played. And so typically I end up punting way more in CS:GO than probably other people do, just for this reason, just because I know the guys I want to target, and typically my research is just to figure out if the underpriced guys are worth going there. And so like today that's probably what I'll get into when I'm looking more at Spirit and the other ones. Um, very very long-winded answer here, but yeah, like games that go the distance are what I target, and a lot of the old CS:GO videos are like, no, you got to get the teams who get the match sweep. You got to get the match sweep bonus. You got to play three guys, and I like that's a bunch of shit, man. Straight up and like even sorry, I'm going on a long-winded rant here. Uh, let me bring something up here. Where's my CS:GO thing? So typically, uh, let's see. This is for 6-6. This is how I basically project for CS:GO, and typically I get bored halfway through. That's why I don't offer it or anything. But this is just for me to like to get an idea. I think this is for the 6, and we had a 4-game tournament. So obviously we had NIP, G2, complexity. Anyway, so like just looking through, kind of bullshitting, trying to get an idea of how it's going to go. I just want to eyeball it and see what these guys are going to get me at a certain amount of points. And so like my projections aren't even like, oh they're wild. So like obviously this is an old thing, but let's just say for example, I'll just change this to simple for today. So like if simple, let's just take a gander at just take a gander at his last couple matches. I just want to see how many he got, so I can do this example right here. Let's just say our last two. We'll even use last gambit one here. Are we on all? Let's do all here. Yeah, so let's just eyeball it here. So he's going 66 and 46 without assist, not even counting assist. 76 and 56. And so let's just say let's say tomorrow he does 62 and he goes for, we'll do 50 deaths. And what's a good eyeball for his less assists there? We'll give him 10 assists. Without a match sweep, without non-rounds played, that's 53 baseline. Obviously, he's going to get higher than that, but that's not giving him any clutches, any 1v5s or whatever. And then, compare that with all the other players or options you can do. So, like, for example, who's the cheapest on this slate? That'd be... and I can't, alright, because we're dumb and I can't spell. So let's just goof around and compare him to where you at, buddy boy? You are on K23. If I can get there, we'll get there. Which I think, yet again, he might be underpriced here. 42. That's a bit too cheap for my man. Because if I'm not mistaken, he saves himself by the fuckload of assists this man gets. Where you at, buddy? Where you at? It's 29, 7, 38. Wait, what was that? Yep. 29, 7, 38 with obviously the rounds not played bonus. 30, 11, and 40, which is what I was going to probably give him. So even like, 20, not that, 23, we'll give him 12. Let's say he gets absolutely fucking railed with 42 deaths. Like, that's obviously that's not good, but like that's not absolute dog shit for 42 points. And then obviously if they get blown out, if he didn't get the rounds not played bonus, add another 15 points to that. I mean, that's nearly 40 points. If he lost in 2 games and he gets the round not played bonus, like if I just went blank on how to pronounce his name, Adine, whatever the case is, like if he gets anywhere close to 30 points, he's fine at $4,200. Like that's a misprice there. And so you can kind of see why I don't project for everybody. It just sometimes I do if I feel like it, but if I just want to compare a couple guys between each other without focusing even on entry kills or 1v2s or 1v3s or clutches or whatever, like it's not crazy that we can see a lot of guys in the 4K range easily hit 30 points. And so thinking, yet again, long-winded answer, but like I already know I'm playing Simple, I already know I'm playing Shuro, I already know I'm playing Axel. Now we got to figure out those final 3 guys to get into the lineup there. Hopefully you're still here, Thomas. And I got 5 guys watching, so I haven't completely scared you guys away entirely. And I don't do my my NASCAR projections like that. Like obviously it's a bit more than just how many kills, how many deaths. Because I'm sure somebody will ask me that as well. But I gotta close these down again. So comparing bit Perfecto. I hate playing Boom, man. Hate playing Boom. That is disgusting. Even with assists, like we cannot have this many issues for somebody who is $5,000. I would much rather just punt for 4,200 in a situation where I think he could probably outscore Boom. And so Boom is probably going to be a no for me. Perfecto, you always see in the highlights, Perfecto's always getting, a 4K here, possibly an ace here, a lot of entry frags, but it always comes in chunks. It's always, he has like 3 good rounds a game that he just, whoops the other team, and then he's just horrible from there on out. And so I'm not just focusing on this because it's Navi and Gambit and they already play each other, but this is a perfect example of a game where it's going to go the distance. It's going to be head to head. They're most likely going to go back to Mirage, Dust 2, or Inferno, or you're going to, because I don't see them going to Nuke. They're only going to go to Overpass if probably Gambit wants to. Because if you're Navi, you're wanting to go back to Mirage. you're most likely going to want to go back to Dust 2. You're most likely going to want to go back to Inferno. Obviously, we're not going to Ancient. That map is trash. I can't believe they killed off Train for Ancient. Um, Vertigo maybe as a wild card if you want to get different, but I think we're just going to go to bread and butter CSGO maps, Mirage, Dust 2, and Inferno again. I really think we go back to those 3 maps, and so you see Perfecto, you know, man, that's a lot of money, man, for somebody who's going to get right there, for $5,600. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, Flamey doesn't count, so you got 4 guys below him. Whereas I can get Bit, who has a really high chance. Obviously, didn't do that well, and this is kind of making a case to maybe just play simple from here. Maybe play 3 guys from this game. But this, yet again, this is the. Let's go back farther. Actually, hold on. Let's find a game where they went 3 against good teams, and so we got against Gambit again, only down 2. How many assists did he get there? G2. Yeah, I'll compare that. Gambit again, obviously, because these teams have met. Honestly, if you just want to look at the Navi and Gambit, I would not hate you for that. I think Entropic would be an interesting one to look at. Obviously, Gambit again, yet again, going positive again against Gambit. Going positive again against Gambit. Heroic, Furia. We'll consider them a good team. Virtus Pro obviously went against. Obviously, we're back in March right now, but this is kind of showing that Bit had a really off day against Gambit on Thursday, like really off, and I think it was just that first half bug that he had. He just could not play the first half worth anything. So I like Bit. So right now we're going to assume we're playing Bit in the flex as well, giving us $6,300 left. The only way I won't play Bit is if I think I can find something to work with Spirit for the other games, but I don't think we're going to be able to with the price and the way it is. So let's go ahead and kind of dive down more into these fellers. Obviously, I usually look at teams and their losses against good teams to really see what the skill level is. Obviously, we kind of know what Spirit is. We've seen him play this week. But if you're new to this, like, typically, well, first off, you kind of has to know who's who, like Navi, Gambit, Astralis used to, now that they're kind of falling down the drain. Even Complexity. Like, I think Complexity's good. They just keep losing, man. They keep losing. Big is by far the ugliest playing team that I have ever seen. They lose in the dumbest ways and they win in the dumbest ways either. But like these guys against Atrophic versus Pro, Navi, and typically I only look at a team pretty much like last month. Because obviously if you play Counter-Strike or really any game yourself, you understand that the way you play within the last month better reflects yourself than how you have over the last year. Sometimes you're in a slump, sometimes you're going into a slump, sometimes you're going out of a slump. Very similar to how baseball players deal with the ups and downs. Let's see. I'm waiting for NASCAR. Darren, man, yeah, we might be here for you might be here for a long time, because I think I'm going to be talking Counter-Strike or doing this for a while. But I'll be live tomorrow. I'll be live this weekend for both. I just like Counter-Strike, man. I like Counter-Strike, and usually the audience isn't there to really make stuff for it. But we're going to try to anyway. Anyway, let's take a look here. Man, Spirit is goddamn expensive, though. They're really expensive. I know this ain't the true. Where are we? Oh my gosh. Look at the odds. I know this ain't the true odds. Interesting. Spirit should be. What do the fans think? Obviously, this ain't the true odds. I don't think it's that high. Spirit is expensive. I don't like that at all because you got to play Chopper, and if you play Chopper today, he didn't kill you, but God, dude, Chopper is not making it easy because I'm pretty sure he did like 8 and 9 and 20 in one of the matches today. Let me look. Oh, yeah, he came. It was on Overpass. Yeah, that was. And the nuke. There was one where he was like 2 and 14 at some point. I don't remember which one it was. It was between these two, and I mean that could absolutely killed your line. So like if you're comparing Chomper to Adin or Adine or Adren, if you're comparing Chomper and him, like it really seems like just punt at the bottom. So like let's really compare these guys here. Let's go back to Chomper. Where you at, Chomp Chomp? Let's see. Wrong one. So I mean, let's really make. I'm really thinking I'm probably gonna punt with him tomorrow. Because I don't think they're going to be that far away. That 88 might actually be a bigger impact. It is a bigger impact rating. That's ridiculous. That's wild. I mean, obviously damage per round's a bit higher. Right? What is that? No deaths per round. Oops, my bad. ADR. Let me look at ADR. Very similar. Very similar. Kill assist. I mean, right against each other. That's nearly identical. That's really as close as you can get. Obviously, within reason, you can be closer. But these two guys are the exact same play, and so for that reason, I don't see a reason to play Spirit unless you're paying up. Because I don't want to play Chomper. Maybe Magic. So we'll look at Magic's next. But I don't think Chomper can work tomorrow. Taking forever. I'm sorry. Let me. I always do this. I always just keep opening up tabs and then I forget what I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and look at Magic's. If Magic's is really worth pursuing here. And Magic's played pretty good Counter-Strike yesterday. We'll see some green here and there. Yeah, and then Magic's, I think he's just another version of Bit, really. Because he's not the 4th best on the team. We can consider him 3rd. Certainly, if you look at the last. Yeah, Magic's is an easy 3rd. So even at 6,600, man, we're just dealing with 63. What are we doing here? Buddy boy. Oh, I forgot these two idiots. So I don't like the smaller CIS tournaments because it's only 10 teams. They end up playing each other twice. Magic's had a. Wait a minute. Yeah, pretty even. -6 or -7 even out with the assists. Magic's again had a good game. That might hurt you. 35, 12, 57. So what did you do that day? Hold on. 35, 12, 57. Let me just check. And DraftKings didn't have that, so let's go ahead and open this up. So what is that? 35, 12, 57. Not knowing entry kills or anything. 35. So 52.5 kills, 12 assists, and 57 deaths. That is 7.5. That's pretty rough. That's a bit worrisome. However, if he can get over 30 kills and not enter 50 deaths, I think he can be plausible. If he has a day like this, I don't think he can work. I think he can still score well with him there. Certainly not going to be optimal. I'm going to mess with these lines some more. If I go Magics, that's 61. Leaves you with Chopper. I don't want to pay 6,000 for Chopper. I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do that. A drink can get you all the way up to Hobbit. Oh, you can get Electronic at 72. If you use that. That's interesting. That's 5 guys for one game, though. Yeah, this is really, really interesting. So, if we're back to simple, what was that? Going Electronic. Might be able to switch that around. What if I put... let me just look at Shiro as the captain. Simple at 48. Her simple went in the flex leaves you $4,800. But Shiro had a pretty outrageous. He had a ceiling of a day, 83 points today. Where I had Shiro projected for 75 in total. He really hit a ceiling. Like 85 is the highest we've seen out of Shiro since the 15th of last month. Gets the Evil Geniuses and OG. Yeah, Shiro had a really, really ceiling performance today at 83 points, whereas Simple, it's much easier for him to get there because he's at 86, 80, 91, 92. It's Simple all day. Simple's the captain tomorrow. So I ain't gonna fuck around with that too much. Axel's pretty goddamn consistent as well. Just keep them in there. If I don't chase bit and I want to go Electronic for a little bit more safety, leaves you $5,900 on average. Let's see. Let's see there. Simple Shiro, Alexi. Man, I'm tired. Electronic, 50. That's not bad at all. Let's see. How likely are these guys to win tomorrow? Like, really? How? Let's see. You got railed by Gambit. That's just how it is. I really think they could do better if they stay on close quarter maps, which is a shame. I wish we could. I wish we would know the maps before the slate locks, but we normally don't. 23's best chance is to probably play a CQB map, and so even ancient Inferno, Vertigo. I think that would really help them play. But they're probably going to go to Dust 2 or Inferno, or, well, no, they haven't gone to Mirage in a while. It's weird. I think they got a fighter's chance tomorrow to at least win one of the matches. I think both series go the distance in 3 games. So let's really take a gander at the 23 guys. So I mean, it seems to me simple and bit, or simple and electronic, with Shiro and Alexi. Or Axel, my bad, Alexi, this ain't complexity. And Axel as the line. It's really what it looks like. Maybe a fighter's chance for these fellers here. Yeah. I ain't paying $6,000 for Chopper. There ain't no fucking way I'm paying $6,000 for Chopper, dude. There ain't no way. You might be able to get to Mao. These guys might be underpriced. Because Mao at 6,000, Fame at 54. There's... Yeah, man. I don't typically like... That's a 2-game slate. Let's say I don't typically like playing two guys from underdogs unless... You know, it's a game like Navi and Gambit. But there's a chance. Let's take a look here. We just had a car bomb go off outside the apartment. Don't know if you heard it, but just another day on the wrong side of the tracks. Let's see. Oh, well, thank you, Eric. I'm happy that this is good stuff. What do you cover CSGO for? Or who do you cover it with? Because the issue with CSGO, and I'm sorry for the 2 of you that are wanting, me to keep going in detail. God dang it, I want to cover CSGO so much, but the only thing that I can really sell are projections, because I'm not making public sheets for people. I'm just not going to do that. I don't want to write articles, and, taking those 2 out of the thing, it's very hard to cover it, and, I would just rather cover it like this every night, but it'd only be like 4 people watching, so it's not like I would get paid any money for that or anything. But, yeah, I mean, if you like it, hopefully that's nice, man, because, kind of same thing how I started NASCAR. I'm kind of covering this in a sense that I didn't see, and, your field, there's choice. I'll look you guys up after this. One last thing, I think it's ridiculous to charge like $500 during the NFL season for a package. I assume the going rate for the CS:GO or the esports thing is I see it like $30, $40, $50. I'm not paying $50 a month for fucking CS:GO projections. Okay, that's a fucking ripoff. I'm not doing that. Especially when all the data is here on Half-Life TV. It's wild that the places who have CSGO projections are locked behind paywall. I can't find jack shit. And I'm not even I just want to see how people are covering it, and I can't even see that because it's locked behind a paywall. I'm not going to pay $30, $40, $50 to see a month. Let's see. Either way, I'm here for it. I still like. Well, yeah. I mean, thank you guys. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. Oh, cool. Yeah, Eric. Okay. Well, if you're getting subs, Eric, I gotta check it out. NASCAR use year. Oh, cool. Well, cool, man. I'm glad you came here from Dirty Air as well. I like doing that. We didn't get to it this week. We had a lot of stuff happen. We'll probably talk about it next week. Ryan had his power going out. I got attacked by a dog about half an hour before we had to record the podcast. And so I was like, I'm not going to make it. I got to deal with this shit on my end. But we'll talk about that next week on the pod probably. But Yeah, I have to, hopefully I did not just trash your guys, Eric, because like I said all that before. Hopefully I did not accidentally trash your group. Um, but you know what I mean. Like if you look at any type of CS:GO stuff, it's the same guys. It's like Link DFS, I think. I don't know him. I'm not talking shit. I know it's Link. A couple other guys. FTN Daily. I know they have it. Other people, I don't know. I gotta stop ranting. You guys don't care. Uh, let's. Well, yeah, at least we're all supporting each other in the comment section here. So anyway, let's go back. Let's really see if Mao is underpriced here. Am I on all maps? Yeah, I'm on all maps. Let's see. It seems to me they got the best chance if they go to a small map. Really, really does. Mao, I think Mao's underpriced at 62. Obviously, he got 31 points today, but that's against Gambit. You kind of gotta expect him to not really do well. Yeah, if this goes to a 3-game series, there's a chance Mal can get 55 points, maybe 54 for 62. Fame, maybe. Let's compare these two bad boys real quick. Let's kind of get an idea of how they're comparing against each other. I'm leaning more Mao, but if I can see some stuff out of Fame. Yeah, let's lean more Mao right now. Let's check. And typically when I'm kind of glancing over, like I can go, like how many assists I can go into that. But when I'm glancing over, and I see huge swings like this, like plus 14, -8, -5, basically even. And I'm perfectly fine with even once you get to the point of like 45, 50 kills. If you got 45, 50 kills, 55 kills, 40, 45, 55, 50 deaths, and you're pretty even. You're still going to be scoring well due to the what is that 0.5 point you get off each kill plus assist plus we're getting first kills and all that. So this stuff doesn't scare me at all. And then when we're seeing Mao consistently, or most of the time, being able to end with more kills than death, obviously we're leaning more towards Mao there. Getting whooped here. That's a bad game. An outlier. He normally doesn't do that poorly. I really think Mao's underpriced for 62. So let's say we go him. We got 57 left. It leaves you Perfecto. That's not horrible. So let's kind of compare that. And if you've been with me this whole time, you kind of see the lineup that I'm going with. Let's go ahead and compare everybody else left on here. So forgive me, we're going to be opening 1,000 tabs once again. That's just how it's going to go. So we got Perfecto, which is not enjoyable at all. We got Fame. We got Nilan or Nilan. What is he? No, he's Russian, so it'd be. K23. What? Nilan. I'm assuming it's Nilan. Boom. Not even gonna waste my time looking at Boom. So we got these 4 nincompoops over here. So it's between these guys for the last, and this is kind of why I like 2-game slates, especially when I've watched these teams over the past week. I don't really have to go into the data because I've watched the teams play. I kind of already know the types of games of these guys, and so I just need to see the box scores to basically remember what game it was that they played. If I'm I can't think right now, but like some of the Blast tournaments where it was teams that we weren't familiar with, we didn't see a whole lot of, and I, for a fact, have never seen a team play, that's when I'll start really going and looking at game by game. I'll try and find either a stream, I might go look back at that, I'll look at first kills, look at assists, look at things like that. But for this week, or for these guys, I'm not, going into, look at, oh, I want to see how this guy did on this round at this half. Hopefully that makes sense. And so, comparing last month, oops, one more. It's famous having the highest impact rating, which is really huge for DFS. Impact rating is basically clutches, first kill. This is basically your DFS rating, because this is, I mean, you could look at multi-kills, opening kills, clutches. I mean, impact is basically the DFS rating, and so whenever you see a high impact, that is what should stand out the most. And so, when we're really comparing these guys, obviously you want a good rating. If we can get that over 1 for like a value play, that's good, or anything close to that is good. But when you're seeing Fame with an impact rating this high with an ADR of 80, that means each round he's getting utility, he's getting a good amount of assists. Let's see how many assists around. Basically, let's see. Not as high as I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be a bit higher. But anyway, you get the point. And if you're here, you basically already know that. Oh man, we got a lot of them damn dogs. Let's see. I gotta fight with a crackhead. That's funny. That's funny, man. Legal work, dude. Man, for whatever reason, I'm a skinny guy. I haven't been in a whole lot of fights, but man, I end up having to do the peacock stance a whole lot. I have to look tough a ton. I'm pretty sure it's because of my teeth. I can look like, I've been in a few fights. I've lost a fight, but I'm willing to get in a few fights here. Generally try to live in tier 2 to tier 3. 35 a month. Okay, let's see. Do we stack in CSGO? You kind of heard me talk about that. Depending if you stack in CSGO, I personally don't. I just play the guy like. Typically, if I like a team to win, like if it's a bigger slate, if it's 6 games, because sometimes we've had 6-5, I'm playing the best player in each game. If it's a 4-game slate, I might have one team with 2 or 3 players, the rest from the other games. When it gets down to 3 and certainly 2-game slates, I'm just playing the guys who should get the most amount of kills, and who I project for the most. And so if those happen to be, like I said today, I'm most likely playing 2 guys from Navi, 2 guys from Gambit. Do you want to say I'm team stacking? I guess you can. Those are just the guys who project to be the highest plays. I completely agree with you, Eric. I don't feel like that's optimal. And a lot of the old data, or early data, especially right after they brought the match sweep and everything, a lot of things, or a lot of guys were talking about, you got to stack in CSGO, you have to stack, and that's way more important in other esports. Like if you're playing League of Legends, you need to team stack. If you're playing Dota, you need to team stack. I don't think you necessarily need to team stack in CSGO. It'll hurt you. Like, hopefully this will make sense. Let me, hold on. Sorry, I had to mess with my headset. And sorry I don't have the camera on. I didn't want to turn the light on because it's already hot enough here in Texas. I don't need another light on, late at night when I'm trying to relax. But if you're the only time team stacking hurts you, like if you don't have it, is if both games tomorrow go two games, they don't go the distance, and you obviously don't get the match sweep. Like if it's an even playing field, I think that is when it's optimal to team stack. And so if Spirit and K23 end in 2 games, and Navi and Gambit end in 2 games, then I think it makes sense to team stack, because you're going to need that 5 points for a match sweep, and you need that 7.5 in the captain spot for the match sweep, because those basically both games are guaranteed 30 rounds not played and a match sweep, and so that's when you want to team stack. When games are expected to go the distance to 3 games, or a situation where I don't think you need to focus on getting that match sweep, that's when I don't team stack. So hopefully that helps and kind of expands on what Eric just put in the comment section. Aaron, go ahead and shoot me a DM, because I want to check out your stuff, or at least want to see what you have. Send me a DM on Twitter, and I'll check you out after this. Anyway, going back to our kind of punt plays, or our looking at how we want to do stuff here. So looking at, just overview, it seems like Fame is the way to go. Perfecto seems a bit overpriced for 5,600, but let's start diving into the matches. So let's see what these guys did in comparison to each other. And let me sort these guys based on price. So obviously we have Perfecto, we got Fame, we got Milan. Okay, cool. So this is sorted by pricing, and so let's take a gander here. And so, okay, this justifies a 56. This, I don't think it does. Pretty even, -2 at the end of the day. That's against Gambit too. Like, that's really worries me. So like, Navi, you guys already know this. Navi is electronic and simple. They win based on how the other 3 guys perform. That's really how it is. If the other 3 guys are having a good day, they're most likely going to win. If they're not going to win. Simple can't carry the whole team, and he can't get 4 kills every round. Electronic is going to basically kill people who Simple can't get to first. 3, like that's... Like, see, here's a situation where, like, that's not bad, 3 minus 3, 3. But 10-7, like, that's not good. In a full game, ending with 10-7, that is, you're being outscored by other people. 14-17, added on to that, you're being outscored. The only one that's a competitive game, or competitive match for Perfecto here, is the last one. So that's what I'm always worried about Perfecto. So let's compare Fame. So it seems like, to me, he's getting a lot of this through assists. And obviously bad game, 10 plus, pretty even, plus 14. So let's take a gander at his bad games, and let's see how many assists he has. Right. Go there. What am I looking at? Fame. So 13 assists. Awesome. If you're not getting the kills, if you're -21 a KD, you need, I hope to God you're getting assists. Fame, 5, that's a bad game there. This is a little interesting. Not as drastic of swings, but he's getting those kills consistently. Even against Gambit, he got quite a few kills. That's interesting. Let's take a gander at these last 3. How many assists again? 1 assist. 2 assists. 6. Oh. Man, it seems like he had more. So it seems like he's trading quite a bit. It's not like he's really escaping any engagements that he has. He's getting the first kill and getting traded right off the bat. I don't hate him for 52 either. I really don't. And we kind of talked about Adren already, to where right now I don't think you need to punt for 42. It seems like it's either Perfecto Fame or Adren. Adren, whatever. It seems like it's between those three. Let's see, we'll do Doge to 0. Yeah, Dogecoin. That's funny. Let's see. We got some guys over here. Man, you guys don't. You gotta watch Counter Strike. You gotta stop watching those fucking NBA finals. That fucking trash sport, and you gotta watch some Counter Strike. Don't waste your time watching trash NBA. You gotta watch Counter Strike. That's how I look at it. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's that. I'll probably mess around with stuff, but yeah, it seems like Simple's the captain, and Simple wasn't even highly owned. Let's look back at his ownership last 2 days. That'll be interesting, because a lot of these guys are pretty much priced the same. They're pretty much in the same situation. So let's take a gander at ownership the last 2 days in this contest. So today, Simple was 65. Oh, 16 at the captain. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Don't understand that at all. Simple the other day was 48% owned, 17% like if we keep getting Simple at under 20% ownership in the captain, I mean, by all means, let's get as much Simple as we can get. Shiro, wait, dude. Simple was 8,400 on Thursday, 12.6 in the captain. Today he's 8,200, 12.3 in the captain. Shiro is 96. Shiro is the exact same price on Thursday, and Shiro had 27% ownership. Granted, that was a 4-game slate, but that's weird, seeing that Simple and Shiro aren't carrying the amount of ownership. Like, both those guys should be over 55% ownership. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I don't know, man. I hate it. I hate baseball. Not baseball. Basketball. It's so boring. I get so bored watching it. Yeah, Simple might. I think it's just Simple in the captain spot. Really do. Don't overthink it. He's underpriced. You can either go Electronic or Bit as your second guy from Navi. If you go with Bit, I don't think it gets you anything. I really don't. Because if you go from Bit to, or if you go from Electronic to Bit, the only guys that open up for you are Chopper, Inerts, Perfecto. And I don't see that being worth the price. And so, Simple, Shiro, Alexi, Axel, Mal, Electronic. I think that's just where you go, and then you decide if you want to go Perfecto Fame from there, or punt at 4,200 if you think you got to go somewhere else. But I don't think you have to do that. What if I punt with Electronic, SDY? How'd he do? This little round one. Where you at, Spirit? It's lower. Yeah, it's lower. Okay, let me see. So I went ahead and did Simple, Shiro, Lexi, Axel, whatever. Going tired, can't talk. Electronic, punted at 4,200. I got 77 left. I'm curious about SDY because there's a case to be made that if I don't go Mal, who I would project for about 55 points tomorrow, can SDY get me over 60 points? That's a situation where I think it's worth paying up for. He has a higher ceiling. Okay, so I think that's the last comparison we need to make because this is going to change the way you approach, or maybe not. But I really believe it's between one of these two guys here. So let's go back here. Let's go to Mal. Let's compare SDY to Mal. Because if you can't get S to SDY, I think it's Mal. If you can't get up to SDY, I think you take it if you can get that. Slightly under, rating higher, higher ADR, higher kill assist. I think it's the SDY. See how we're doing here. Very close indeed. I'm actually okay going SDY over Mal. I think you do, and I think that's kind of safer because sure, I think Adrin can get 30 points tomorrow. If he finishes with 32 points tomorrow, I think you're golden. If he gets you 29, not optimal, but 29 at 4,200 is not bad at all. And SDY can get quite a few kills tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's where we're gonna go. I think that's the amount of that's where we're gonna go. Let's see all the simple now. You ever look at match stats at the bottom of the matchup page to predict? Yeah, I do here and there. Kind of like I said earlier, mainly because since I've watched all these games this week, I'm not really doing that. Whereas if it's more, like if it's a 4-game slate, I'll probably do that more. Or if it's teams that I haven't seen play, in the last 2 weeks or whatever, then I'll probably do that more. But since I've watched these guys play the last week and a half or last week, I don't think I need to. Yeah, I kind of knew SDY projects higher. It's just how much higher does it justify going from Mal to SDY? Like right now, I'm going SDY over Mal. But if you're telling me Mal gets 55 points, and then SDY gets me 59 points, sure, that's going to make a difference, and it's a much bigger difference in Counter-Strike than it is other series or than it is other sports. But maybe I can't afford that, so I would take that $4 or that 4-point hit and pay down and save me $1,000. I think that would be a much bigger debate if Simple was more expensive, but Simple is too cheap, so that's not an issue you have to do. So right now I'm probably gonna end up with 2 Navi, 2 Gambit, 1 K23, and 1 Spirit player. And if you've been with me for the last hour, hour and a half, however long, how long I've been here an hour, so you kind of know where I'm at. I was going to do NASCAR stuff, but I'm just going live tomorrow anyway, and then I'll be live Sunday. Hopefully we'll get Jordan back, and you can just ask me there, because if I... Yeah, that's how it's going to be. I'll probably do some NASCAR research after this, but it'll just be presented to you on the live shows anyway, so probably going to call it a night here, or at least end the stream here. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for, kind of chit-chatting me about Counter-Strike. This was more enjoyable than I thought it would be. I just figured I'd just be here by myself for the entire hour. So thank you guys for joining. Eric, best of luck tomorrow. Darren, if you're going to play it, best of luck. What time tomorrow? Probably, let's see, qualifying is going to end around 11:30 my time, 12:30 Eastern, so I'm going to try and go live around 1:30, probably an hour and a half before lock, maybe an hour and 15, because I want to get my stuff to upload to Patreon. I'm typically faster if I'm not live, so if I can get that done then go live, that'll probably be the plan. So give me 20 to 30 minutes after qualifying is official. That's when we'll be live. Thomas, thank you for watching. Best of luck tomorrow. Thank you for the comments, and we'll talk to you later, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and if you're playing CS tomorrow, have fun.